Hi, and welcome. My name is Nurse Bey, and I am the owner, of Mind Over Plates. I am a registered nurse. I am also a health and wellness coach. And today I am going to be talking about diabetes awareness. November is Diabetes Awareness Month, and I am going to have a guest that will be joining me um, in a few seconds. And I just want to welcome you all to this Facebook Live. I hope that your day is going well, and I would love for you all to, your comments in the comment section, and take some notes. Sit back and listen. My guest, he's a wealth of knowledge, and it's always a pleasure for him to come on with me. And while we're waiting for him to come on, you can share this video with a friend, and that will make it almost like a family affair. It'll be a community of people learning what they need to learn about um, diabetes. It's not your common cold. Um, it is not like getting bit by a mosquito. It's very, very much something that you need to pay attention to. And so, as we wait for Mr. Anthony Clements to get on the line, I will say this, that there are lots of studies out there for a lot of the diseases that we have. There's a lot of studies out there for heart disease. There's a lot of studies out there for cancer. There's a lot of studies out there for um, liver disease, kidney disease, and a lot of times, ignore we just ignore the warning signs, or we ignore what is being told to us. But should not we should not do that. And so, just give me a second here. Let me see again what is going on with Mr. Anthony. Okay, he's having a little problem. He's having a little problem getting on, but we will try our best to help him get on. And so again, like I was saying, um, we really don't take part in the things that are told to us, whether they're by social media, whether they're by the news, whether they're by a coworker, someone that is, or someone that we know. It could be a loved one that is going through some type of uh, diabetes, whether it be pre-diabetes, whether it be diabetes type 1, um, whether it be diabetes type 2. But nevertheless, diabetes is a real disease, and yes, it affects um, millions and millions of people um, worldwide. And so, I would like to, what I would like for you all to take away from this Facebook Live is, after this live, I would like for you to make sure that you get yourself checked. Go get your lab work. Make sure that you get things done that you need done. Get your get your levels, get your A1C. The A1C is a very, very definitive test. Like, you can take a fasting blood sugar, meaning that you will not have something to eat after 12 midnight, and then at 8 a.m. you will take a fasting blood sugar. But that's not the most definitive test. The most definitive test is the A1C, where they track how much sugar is in your blood in a 3 month period. So um, that's um, that's the one thing that I really want you all to take away from this Facebook Live. So we have our guest here. Hello. We have our guest here. His name is Anthony Clements. And Mr. Clements, I am so glad to have you. You always have something for us, and I know today it's not going to be any less. You're going to increase us in knowledge more and more. So I'm going to let Mr. Clements introduce himself, and then we're going to move on from there.
Well, awesome. How are you?
I'm great. I'm great. Great.
See you. Good to see you. Well, thank you
Good
so
to
much
see
for
you.
having me. Happy to be here on this platform to share some things with you as far as the things as it relates to diabetes. I'm not an expert, but the things that I do know can even be complemented based
Mm-hmm.
coupled with what your doctors already prescribed. But you asked me, who am I? Well, I am Anthony Clements, and I'm born out of Columbus, Georgia. Did some travels in Pennsylvania. I lived there for a spell. Lived in Greenville, Georgia, and now I live in Leesburg, Georgia, and that's where I am. I'm also a 1998 graduate of Albany State, the unsinkable State University. Degree. I have a piano performance degree, and I'm a published author and motivational speaker and trainer. So my part of my purpose is to help people improve their lives, whether it be financially, whether it be spiritually, whether it be psychologically, all the leads. My job is to A, to at least get you to point J or K. All right. So, but that's what I do. I have an insatiable passion of helping people, even though music is my profession. Motivating and transforming lives is my passion. So that's me in a little nutshell. I have a wife. The wife's name is Tangela Clements, and I have two children by the name of Justin and Jasmine.
Yeah. And Jasmine is such a joy. She can track how many times a day or how many times I come to Publix, and I always say, "Hey, Jazz," and her name fits her. She is very, very jazzy. And so,
See,
yeah, we won't prolong the time. So, Mr. Clemens, what I was telling the listening audience is, it's November. It's Diabetes Awareness Month, and so what we want to do, even though you and I come from different backgrounds, you're you're a teacher, you're an author. I'm a registered nurse. I'm a health and wellness coach. But we're going to let these two things marry. And I think that our listening audience will be very pleased. So this is Diabetic Awareness Month, and I'm not going to get too much into diabetes, type 1, type 2. What I really want to talk about is first on what diabetes is, and that is when there's too much blood in the in too much sugar, I'm sorry, in the blood, and the pancreas cannot make enough insulin to control that. That's it in a nutshell, right? That's diabetes 101. But what I really want to talk about is there 1 in 3 adults have pre-diabetes. And what does that look like? So pre-diabetes, the range, if you were to go to get a test, like an A1C, which I told them earlier, takes your 3-month blood sugar level, it would be 5.7 to 6.4. If the doctor told you that, then that means that you're in pre-diabetes. So what does pre mean? You can prevent diabetes. You can prevent diabetes type 2, you can prevent diabetes type 1, which is the one that you cannot reverse. Diabetes type 2, you can. And so when you get this warning sign that your ranges are 5.7 to 6.4, you need to actively, immediately walk out of that doctor's office and do something about it. But there's something about our mindset that when we're told something, we think, oh, I'll get to it later. And with that mindset comes this other manifestation that now we're scrambling to try to handle. What do I mean by that? The doctor said pre-diabetes, your mindset said I'll do it later. Now the pre-diabetes manifests itself into diabetes type 2, and now you are on medicine and you have to work hard. Type 2 can be reversed. So this is where you come in as the specialist. Tell us about this mindset. Why is it that if my doctor were to tell me that I had pre-diabetes and this was my range, 5.7 to 6.4, and I walk out and say, oh, well, it's just pre, I'll get to it. Speak to the listening audience about why do we have this mindset about I'll do it later.
Mm. Well, the reason why people will say I'll do it later because they walk in what I call presumptuous. You know, I hate to go in the Bible Belt. Samson had said, you remember the story of Samson? Yeah, when the people came upon me, he said, oh, I'll just shake myself as always. You know, I'm going to shake myself and destroy all these Philistines. But guess what? He became presumptuous because he lost his power. And when he lost his power, that's when chaos and demise and his fate came upon him. So there's a lesson even learned with that is not to be presumptuous, that, oh, all is well, even though all can be well. But all can be well if
Mhm.
you do things that will keep you well. If you do the thing that will keep you well. There's a thing I've heard, and it talks about the power of the spoken word. Now, did you not know that when a person says that you are whatever, it's a negative information? Did you not know if it's negative? I don't care if they say, I don't like you, you're ugly. If somebody says that one negative statement, according to the study of MIT, it takes 16 positive affirmations to cancel out that one.
Wow.
So that's how come faith comes by what? Hearing. So even if it's not the truth, but if you hear it, guess what? It takes 16 times positive things to cancel out or to nullify that one. So when you are receiving information about you got this diabetes or you're pre-diabetical, well, here's the thing, ignore it. The purpose of that is to let you know whether you're on track or you're off track. It's called yellow alerts. It is those flashlights that beep, 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 beep. You need to listen to and pay attention to those yellow alerts, because those yellow alerts, if you don't pay attention by neglect, those yellow alerts will turn to flatline. So we want to avoid that. So in a spirit of balance. We got to have balance. The balance is let the doctors diagnose you so that you know what's supposed to be, what's going on, so you can have the right medical attention. But at the same time, that's your job. Your job is to help the doctors help you.
Mm-hmm.
I
Mm-hmm.
mean, it's your job to help the doctors help you. How do you help the doctors help you? Number one, do what he says, what he prescribes. At the same time, your words, coupled with your words, the natural medicine, according, and also with the verbal medicine that you need, will help you to become even more well. So, for example, if you were to hear that, the first thing you just say, "Oh my goodness, really? Let me see how I can better that. Let me see if I can find some answers so I can avoid that." See, you might want to write this down. Whatever is spoken last, lasts. Did you hear me? I'm going to say it for the people in the front, in the middle, and the back. Say it again. Whatever is spoken last, lasts. Or spoken last is the thing that manifests. So it is not so much what a person says to you that matters, but what do you say after that person get through talking? Do 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 do, and that was a little Twilight Zone, But anyway, so we have to be ever mindful of the words that we say. So if the doctor says this, now what are you going to say in addition, in knowledge, in awareness of what the doctor say, so you can avoid that at all costs. There was a study. I don't know if you're familiar with. Y'all need to check him out. His name is Dr. Masaru Emoto. He was a Japanese physicist, and he did a study on water. Now I'm gonna check this out. I'm going somewhere with this. Just hold tight. I want y'all to put on your seatbelt and strap down your wigs. He found out that he studied water. He found out that your spoken words can change the molecular structure of water. Your words can change the molecular structure of water. This is what he did, an experiment. I'm bringing it on home. He had 3 experiments with rice. One rice filled with water. One of the 3 jars he had filled with water and rice. This is what he said in the same room. One jar of rice, he says, "You're ugly. You're stinking. I can't stand you. I wish you," just all kinds of stuff. Then the middle one, he just ignored it. The third one, he says, "You're beautiful. You are beautiful. I can't wait. You just smell so good." Well, after the 30 days, he did a 30-day trial of this on the experiment of water. This is what his findings were. The one that he spoke negative with, it became black. The rice turned black. The other jar of rice that had water that he ignored, it was just brown. The one that he spoke positively with, guess what? It had a sweet smelling aroma like a jasmine flower. And he did the experiment and he took the microscope to see how the water were formulating. The one that he spoke positively had beautiful shapes of crystals and snowflakes, just beautiful. The one he spoke negatively or didn't speak at all was disjointed and it was like it was broken. Here's my point. My point is, if your body is 75% water, what words are you releasing that is causing havoc in your body? Something to think about. So it's just one of those things. Be mindful of the words that we are saying and speaking out of ourselves. Yes. Now, I'm not advocating, please. I want you to hear me. I'm not advocating that you just speak a word and disregard what the doctor says. No, I did not say that. Don't say that. I'm saying with the doctor, what the doctors have prescribed based on your condition, you need to have a positive, powerful word to help that thing along. It's called supernatural. If you want to have a supernatural experience, you got to equate the super with the natural. What is the super? Your word. What is the natural? The insulates, whatever you need to read to. What I'm trying to say. I'm trying to say how to fix it.
Mm-hmm.
Fix,
Mm-hmm.
so that your body can produce the amount of insulin that it is needed. So it's a balancing act. So that's what I want to share.
Okay. And it's very interesting that you talked about rice, because when we're talking about people that are they get the warning sign that they're pre-diabetic, rice is white. So when you are pre-diabetic, uh, type 1, type 2 diabetic, you cannot live the white life. What does
Mm.
that look like? Cannot eat a lot of white potatoes. You cannot eat a lot of white rice. You cannot eat a lot of white salt. You cannot eat a lot of white sugar. You cannot eat a lot of drink a lot of white milk. You can't eat a lot of white ice cream. So you have to ditch, the white life. And I know that we as people, food is supposed to be for our medicine. That's what it says in Ezekiel 47:12. It's supposed to be for our medicine. It is supposed to help us to continue this life's journey. But we have to be aware of the people that make food. They're in it to what? Make money. So if they're wanting to make money and you're wanting to make life, you have to decide if the food that they're putting on the shelf for you is the food that you need, right? And if that's not the food that you need, then you just have to leave it there, And I know people, here's another M word, moderation. Nurse Bey, moderation, moderation. Moderation has accelerated. Moderation has accelerated. And so then this moderation that has accelerated, it turns into a manifestation. So can you speak to the listening audience, because you're also an expert in manifestation?
Yes. And what kind of question you want to ask as it relates to manifestation? Are you
So
saying?
So what I'm saying is, when it comes to us and our diet habits and our reports and what we get from the doctor, first we talk about mindset. We walk away and we say, "Oh, I'll do it tomorrow." Okay, so then tomorrow comes 8 months later, after you have indulged in everything that the doctor told you not to do. What he's going to tell you to do first is change your diet. That's about the only time and a guaranteed time that the doctor is going to say change your diet, when he tells you you have pre-diabetes. But we're going to push it off. Oh, I'll do it later. My mindset, I'll do it later because I'm not really that bad. Okay, if it's 5.7 to 6.4, I'm a 5.8. We want to add it up. So 5.7, I'm a 5.8, and 6.4. As long as I don't get to 6.5, I'm going to be good. But you're going to get to 6.5 because you're not going to use what you have to get you beyond 5.7. So speak to manifestation in that sense.
Sure. Well, I'll say this. Two things. One thing, I want to give you a formula, and I want y'all to write this down. It's a formula for manifestation or results. Are y'all ready? If you write it, put it in the chat. Say, I'm ready. Put it in the chat. I want to put it in all caps. Are you ready? All right, here it is. The formula is E plus O, excuse me, E plus R equals O. Write that in the chat if you can, or write it down on a piece of paper. Get your napkin or mascara, Crayola, whatever. E plus R equals O. So whenever I raise my hand, I want you to say break it down. All right, Nefertiti? When I raise my hand.
Let's break it down.
E is the event plus your R.
Break it down.
Your response equals your O.
Break it down.
Outcome.
Break it down.
The event in your life plus your response to your life equals the outcome of your life or the results of your life. Example.
Break it down.
I'm going to use a money man. The doctor says you need to exercise more. The doctor says you need to stay away from white flour contents. You need to enhance more vegetables. That is an event. Okay? Your response, you don't tell me what to do. Who you think you talking to? My mama cooked them hog maws and them candy yams. And she told me about I can have me some of my cake and eat it too. Okay? That's your response. Your outcome. You need to have some painful aids for you to maintain your life. But no, don't say it's the devil. Your devil. Your devil is neglect. Your devil is ignoring. See, let me tell you something. Neglect is your devil. Neglect is your devil. And here's the thing. Let me tell you something what Hosea said. I'm going to tell you what Hosea said. He says, my people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. But he didn't stop there. A lot of people want to stop right there and put a period. No. Let's go on to what it says. Not only that they are destroyed for lack of knowledge, but they also reject knowledge. So it's called, so don't be a part of that group that reject knowledge. Because you're going to what? You're going to be destroyed. And everybody who is associated with you or blessed enough to be associated with you, they're going to be affected as well. So it's just one of those things is that we got to help the doctors help you. You help the doctors help you. E plus R equals O. The event, he told you what to do. Your response, you choose not to. Your outcome, you increase your chances of being 6 feet under before time. Let's use the same analogy. Mm-hmm. The doctor says you need to exercise, you need to drink more water, to do more aerial. What's the exercise that you can breathe more? It start with an A.
What you do?
It's say air exercise. Okay, it's a more comfortable. I don't know what it is.
The aerial arts.
There you go. Thank you. Now that's the event. Same event. Your response. You do what he says. You drink your waters. You get you plenty of rest. You get so all those things factors. You eat your greeneries. You eat your fruits and da 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 da. Guess what? Your O or your results. You live a better life. My point is this.
Break it down.
It is never the E that determines your O.
Break it down.
It is always your R that determines your O. That was good. I need to write this down. You preach. I need to write this down myself. If y'all ain't writing this down, I don't know what your issue is. But here's the thing. E plus R equals O. Use that in not just in your health space, but use it in every phase of your life. E plus R equals O. If you're wondering about manifestation, apply that formula. The event in your life determines the event in your life plus your response to your life equals the outcome of your life. You have to do your own push-ups in order for you to be strong. So that's a little bit of the manifestation thing I want to share.
Well, that was a wonderful, wonderful example. It was a simple example. Your E, the event, your response, and then your outcome. So actually, when you were talking, this is what I was thinking. The event is one thing. The R and the O is two things. That's two things that could be to your advantage. That's two things that could be to your disadvantage. And the majority wins. So respond right, outcome right. Respond wrong, outcome wrong. Still the one event, but these two things right here are going to determine how it goes. And so, response, read, response, um, get ready, get ready, get ready, get ready. Response, be responsible. You know,
Mm.
response. Don't repeat the bad habit that got you the pre-diabetic reading anyway.
Yeah.
So I really thank you for that, that that formula, and we can use that formula in our everyday life. And so, what I really want the listening audience to walk away from this live is 1 in 3 adults are pre-diabetic. They got high, they got a high risk of having to take medicine the rest of their life. That is a pivotal moment, and you can do something about it or not do something about it. And the other thing that I want to add is if you're going to the doctors and he's giving you or she's giving you this information, and you might happen to be married, you might happen to be engaged, you might happen to be the caregiver for your loved one, this, such, and so, or you just might be you. Um,
Yeah.
Single. You don't want to be selfish to yourself or the other people that depend on you or the other people that are involved with you, because if in fact, if in fact you get any type of diagnosis because you didn't listen the first time, what's the likelihood that you're going to listen from type 2 diabetes to type 1? What's the likelihood you're going to listen from type 1 to one toe being cut off? What's the likelihood that you're going to listen to that whole leg being cut off? So we just need to do what we need to do. We say we believe God. We say we believe the word. But like my pastor said a couple of weeks ago, he cannot impart to you revelation. He cannot impart to you the action of you getting up and seeking and meditating. He can guide you. He can tell you. It is your response to what he says that's going to enable you to have that long life that God promised you. And so I just want to thank you for coming on, Mr. Clements. It's always a joy. You always leave us with something to walk away from. And it's always very, very powerful. It was very simple, ERO,
And
very, very simple, but very, very powerful. And I'll give you the last words.
oh, the last words, I thought was going on for more. But it just brings back to my mind, unfortunately, just shares a real story that my parents are no longer here because they was not willing to follow the E plus R equals O. They're not here. I used to tell my mom when she was alive, I was like, Mom, listen, babe, listen, do what the doctor says. Have you taken your medicine? She said, No, I don't want to take that stuff. Make me feel. I said, Babe, listen, I want you to live a long time. She said, You know what? I got to die with something. She said, I got to die with something. As much as I tried to help her, as much as tried to encourage her, as much as try to get people to help her to get moving, and that, she didn't want to do it. She said, I'm going to have my red velvet cake. I said, Mom, you can't do that. Mom, you got to do what the doctor said. She said, you know what? I got to die with something. She said, I'm going to have my red velvet cake. She said, I'm going to get it. She said, if you don't get it to me, I'm going to go and buy it myself. And it hurt me. But it's one of those things is that as much as I love them, I cannot override what they decide. And sometimes we feel like, I'm not loving. No, 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 no. People are results of their choices. My mentor said to me that was so powerful that stuck with me. He says, when you're born, you look like your daddy. But when you die, you look like your decisions. So let's make sure that whenever we leave, not that I'm advocating that, and I'm not trying to promote that, I'm just saying, but if you can live here on this earth longer, so you can be stronger, have more stronger relationships, your children, everybody that's connected to you, your coworkers, did you not know people are blessed because you are present? You bless people just by your presence. You don't even know it. People may not even articulate it and I appreciate it, say, listen, you have blessed me. But if you just hold on and make sure you start making sure that you're doing the right response, doing the right response. So that here's a promise you need to say to yourself and others. I'm going to take care of me for you. If you promise to take care of you for me. I'm gonna say it again. That y'all need to write that down. Y'all need to write that. That's hot off the ride. I'm gonna take care of me for you, and I want you to promise that you'll take care of you for me. And that's how I'm gonna sign off with that. But I hope that's something that I said kind of got some rudders going with the listening audience. But just always know, be mindful of the words that you're speaking, because change your words, you'll change your world. Yeah. So be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. How your mind gonna be transformed? Transform means be ye, be you. You would be transformed. How? By the renewing of your mind. A prosperous mind, as my mentor said, Reverend Ike, he said, a prosperous mind makes a prosperous behind. So if you want your behind to prosper, your mind must first prosper. And so, beloved, he wish above all things that you prosper and be in good health, even as your soul prosper. That's my gift to you. May the favor of God continue to embrace all of you tightly, tenaciously, and never let you go is my prayer.
Well, thank you so much. And again, I am Nurse Bey. I am I am the owner I'm a miner. I'm a gold miner. I am the owner of Mind Over Plates. I'm a registered nurse. I'm a health and wellness coach. And we came together, myself and Mr. Clements, to just give you a short knowledge story about diabetes. It's Diabetes Awareness Month, and it's November. And we know that you all are getting ready to go get yourselves all set up for that turkey and and y'all gonna dig all in. Y'all saving yourselves for Thanksgiving Day. But let's approach Thanksgiving in this manner, that what we do when we sit at that table will help us to be able to give thanks a whole lot of more Thanksgivings. Did you want to say something, Mr. Clements?
Well, if this is okay with you, I just want to share with everybody that, you know, if you want more information about the mind, mouth, money, and manifestation, you might want to check out my book called Clem Notes for Speakers. Is it okay?
Oh, sure.
But this is what it looks like, you all. This is Clem Notes for Speakers. And it is a success quote book. So if you are having a deficiency in knowing what to say, if you are having, well, as Les Brown said, if you are having diarrhea at the mouth, well, if you want to change your words and you don't know necessarily what to say, this book will help you. It has 87 different topics that you can speak on better. Sometimes, for example, one of the things that's what it talks about the power of your spoken word, it says whatever is spoken last is last. When you change your words, you'll change your world. All those quotes are in here. So check it out. It's on Amazon, booksamillion.com, and that'll be a wonderful Christmas gift for you and your friends and your family.
Wonderful. And yes, I agree. A plus, A plus, A plus on Clip Notes. And you all, yes, let's support each other. You know, it's we have reached 8 billion people in the world. We were at 7.6, I think, but we're now at 8 billion people. So it's enough to go around, like around and around and around and around. That's that R part, respond,
Oh no.
respond. So, so yeah, so respond to what respond to what we're saying. Take some action so your outcomes can be better. And as always, what do I say? Today has been food for thought. And we thank you for joining us. And we hope that you all have a happy holiday, happy Thanksgiving, Mr. Clements, and God bless you all. See you soon.
God bless you. Thank you.
Thank you.